Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to election night 2025, the off-year elections. There's a few elections. We've been looking at the betting. We've been looking at some of the updates on X. Not the most encouraging stuff. People talking about Mamdani already winning. We're gonna go through all the updates. I've got Polymarket. I've got Kalshi. I've got New York Times. I think Virginia, the polls close at 7 o'clock, which is strange. Maybe it's not that strange. Yeah, Virginia is Eastern Standard Time. Virginia, the AG race, the governor's race, the AG race, we'll see. The AG race is slipping away. Polls close at 8 o'clock in New Jersey, 9 o'clock in New York City. I think New York City people are saying it's already over. California, Prop 50, really? 11 o'clock? That's going to pass anyways. Fucking, this is going to allow them to get 4 more seats, 5 more seats, whatever it is. It's going to be a blue wave. A blue wave in like 3 election in 3 races. I don't think that's a blue wave. New Jersey, it was a good try. Maybe next time. You're already counting it off. I mean, the day of betting speculation is certainly not been in favor of Jack. Cheryl has gone up by about 7 or 8 points. Day of betting speculation. You could say it's some of the numbers, the exit polls. I think the exit polls, by and large, are useless. I mean, we saw what happened with the exit polls in 2024. I don't really look at exit polls, guys. You voted for Sliwa. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter either way. You've got a 95.5 right now. The question is, what's the margin? Is Mamdani going to get above 50%? Because if you look at some of the polls like the Atlas Intel, he'd be under, but yeah, Mamdani's up pretty significantly. Where's the AG? Yeah, you look at this, even Jay Jones now. You're seeing Jay Jones wick up pretty significantly. Crazy how that guy thought he had a chance. Who, Sliwa? Virginia is fucked. Yeah, I think Virginia. I mean, the AG is the only thing they can try and salvage. The question is, if Spanberger wins by 10 or more, how do you deal with that down ballot in the AG race? There's going to be too many normie Dems. This is like the one to watch right now, is this AG race, because I don't think the governor's race has any chance. The only thing to watch on the governor's race is the margin of victory for Spanberger, unless it's a ridiculous upset. I mean, it's like 99-1. Yeah, there it is. It's 99. It is actually 99-1 now. So a 99% chance Spanberger will win. The final polls I saw was about plus 10, plus 11. The composite, about plus 10 and a half. So think about the effect of that down ballot. I mean, Jones will perform worse than Spanberger, of course, but is it going to be by 7 points worse, 8 points worse? You need it to be more of a competitive race. Does Mamdani become one of the main thought leaders in the Democratic Party after tonight? Well, he's just the mayor, but it is New York City. So yeah, I think Mamdani, just because of the flair and the fact that it's New York City, there is going to be a heavy spotlight onto him, and it's an unorthodox thing. You know, somebody that's openly socialist. So yeah, he'll definitely, it's like an AOC type thing, basically. Younger, more outspoken, and he's, it's New York City. Yeah, Mamdani can't run for president. Is America dead? Well, it depends your perspective of America. These races are not the reason America would be dead. I mean, this is an off-year election where there's like 3 races. It's two. they're all liberal states. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is just what it is. People are going to make a big deal about this, just like with the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. It's like, I mean, it's three races. I don't know. House 2026 midterms poly market spiked. Thoughts? For Dems, it spiked because they're getting, maybe it's because they're getting positive numbers for 2025. So they're saying it's a precursor. I don't know. You spiked it for who? I thought it was spiking for, I thought it was spiking for Republicans for a while, at least on Kelshi. Yeah, no, I think this is a reaction to today, and they say it's an indictment on Trump, and maybe Trump's not the most popular, so they say, but this is just like a snap reaction to three or four different elections happening that may not be going well for Republicans in liberal states. I think people need to calm down. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Virginia, the AG is what I'd be watching. I mean, I'd look for the margin with the. It's crazy that the Republicans won it in 21, but this is kind of how it goes. The Republican wins the general in 24, so the Democrat will win in 25. Volume is not super huge on that market. Yeah, that's another thing to watch. If the volume is relatively low, we can't make too much out of big swings, like 4 or 5 percent point swings, because a small amount of money might be able to affect it. So that's a good point. Do you think Republicans will win tonight? I would say New Jersey's possibly.
Mean Gene in Florida tipped $19.99 through Super Chat. I've made the case for keeping leftist Democrat enclaves in California, NYC, Portland, Minneapolis, so we can always point it to how Democrats can screw up the whole country unless you vote conservative.
Yeah, conservative. I don't know why I cut out there, but we're not even gonna have a choice. There's going to be the enclaves because of the immigration and the majority minority in these cities. The majority minority, the potency of this diversity is just, it makes these cities extremely liberal. It just changes them so much. I don't think you'll ever get those cities really conservative. They might vote for a conservative Democrat, but you're not going to get a true Republican in some of these bigger cities. The demographics won't allow it, I don't think. At least in the modern sense, now that everything is so polarized. Dems are really going to try and spin this as a referendum on how people view GOP and their chances for regaining power if they go more. Oh, absolutely. And this is just the reality of it, but you have to understand the context of it. I mean, you look at Virginia. Virginia normally goes the opposite. So in 21, in 20, Biden won the Democrat. 21, Youngkin wins the Republican. 24, Trump wins. I mean, Virginia, just even Youngkin winning, who's a way better candidate than Earl Sears, he won by 1.5 points. That was post a Democrat victory in 2020. 2024, it's a Trump victory. Youngkin can't run so the Republicans don't even have their incumbent running, and it's Earl Sears, and it's a Democrat state. Virginia's like a +8 Dem state in a general. Now the governors can be different, but there's more Democrats than Republicans in Virginia. And then New Jersey. I mean, New Jersey it's the same thing. You look at New Jersey in 2021 relative to 2017. You voted today in New Jersey.
At the Milkshake tip $5 through Super Chat. Best case scenario for Virginia is Miares win and/or House flip.
Miares win and yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think it's just. I think the margin is hopefully closer than what they're saying with Earl Sears. Like, if the margin is within 7, I think it helps Miares significantly. If it's 10.5 or 11, it's a problem for the just down ballot normies are going to be voting for Jay Jones just because he's a Democrat. If the margin is 10 or 11 with Spanberger, you voted today in New Jersey and no voter ID required. That's in any of these Democratic states, they don't require the voter ID. It's like. I mean, it's insane that they do that, but if I was talking about it yesterday, it's more of they say it's a barrier for the minorities, so If they can get away with not requiring it in these liberal states, they're gonna do it. Unfortunately. Voted no on Prop 50. Well, I can appreciate you getting out to vote and stuff. Unfortunately, Prop 50 is it's very likely. Look at this Democrat sweep. Here it is. So Democrats sweep now harpooning to a 92% chance. That's all the big races that everyone's been talking about. If you don't know, where's the Virginia governor, House of Delegates, New Jersey governor elections, Mamdani wins, Prop 50 passes, 92% chance. So, I mean, is there going to be any drama? Wait, is that the new... That is New Jersey as well. Wow. So New Jersey is really the only one at this point. I mean, I guess this doesn't include the AG race. If it included the AG race, it'd be lower. I mean, there's a pretty low volume in it, so it could swing rapidly, but... Thoughts on Jay Jones kicking the dog? I didn't really think he kicked it. He's just a weird dude, though. I mean, he's got no business as like the authority, the number one authority figure now for law enforcement in Virginia after those. It's really bad, and they try and compare it to Trump. Yeah, Trump never said anything like that about Hillary Clinton's kids or Biden's kids. That's a complete bullshit whataboutism. So they try and do that morality game. It's not going to work with something like that with those messages about children. Now you're getting a little bit, but I mean, this is what it is. They just down ballot liberal slop voting. The only reason Youngkin won was because their schools are becoming a huge issue. Police kicking parents out of the schools, BD meetings, etc. Well, and also it was a post-Biden 2020 win. There was a lot of local issues in Virginia. Youngkin, was a better candidate. Crypto bull run over. Well, it has to. I mean, I guess it is. It started for Bitcoin, but I don't even know where we're at in the crypto cycle. I would just say hold your coins, and it's a DCA opportunity. But I've been telling people to do that for a while now. It keeps going down. I don't know. Mamdani margin of victory 10 to 20%. That would insinuate he probably gets over 50% of the vote. I mean, I'd be more interested in total vote margin. Second place, yeah, Cuomo will finish second. Will Mamdani get over 50% of the vote? 71% chance. Did you see the Elon guy got voted on the NASA guy? Yeah, I saw that. The NASA leader. All right. Well, this race is not going to be good. This is probably a major population center that's coming in, Richmond. But hopefully hopefully it's within 7 or 8 points. I mean, that would be good for. Looks like Miores is outrunning Sears by around 2.5-3%. That's not going to be good enough. Maybe there's some different vote numbers coming in. Like you said, you expect the results are going to be way more Dem than expected due to Dem scaring the voters away from taking Snap away. Yeah, but it's also these are Democratic states. I mean, we'll see. New Jersey would have been nice, but Dems were favored in all races. That's true. That is true. They were favored. The New Jersey was close, but even, I mean, the betting it really wasn't close. It was 85-15. I mean, we'll see what happens with New Jersey. I think New Jersey closes at 8. I don't know. I think a lot of the early voting people are saying it's not going well for Republicans. That's why people are saying they're going to lose. I mean, if the same exact counties are reporting the same things, then Miores is outrunning Earl Sears by 2.5%. You know, that's not even close. I think he's gonna have to outrun her by 9 or 10% maybe. Did you see MTG on the View? Yeah, I saw that. It's just like to me, it's ridiculous. But I don't know. It's hard to really know what to make of MTG. I never really took MTG seriously, honestly. You voted for Jack in New Jersey. Well, let's hope he can have a crazy victory. Here's Kelshi. I think Kelshi's probably the exact same if I had to guess. Democratic sweep is at 87 here. I think it's the exact same, and it's wicking up really high too. I mean, it was you look at this even the lowest it's at 88 now. The lowest it was at was 71 and a half. So I mean, it was always likely. Spanberger's at 99. Jones is still it's like 65-35 with Jones right now. But yeah, so these are basically all the important races, I guess. Cheryl is at it doesn't it's like 90-10 basically. Cheryl still. I mean, there's gonna have to be some overperformance here from Jack right when the polls close. Then we'll start see some swing in betting if that's what ends up happening. But I do think there's been a lot of there's been some yes, there's been early reports that it's been positive for Cheryl day of voting and some of the exit polls. But I don't put a ton of stock into the exit polls. Just disgusting that Jones is leading by that much. Yeah, it's unfortunate after what he said. Crazy to think one of the best election nights ever was only 1 years ago. Feels like Trump has done so much already. Yeah, you kind of reflect on it, considering this is an off year and everything like that. You kind of reflect on the election. Like it's such a different time, such different energy last year. It is. It's 1 year ago, the first Tuesday, November. New Yorkistan. Right. Well, that's what it looks like with Mom Downey there. Miores is outperforming Earl Sears by 2.5 still, but maybe like 2.7. There's more numbers reporting. Earl Sears, I'm guessing these are Republican counties reporting. What's your take on midterm outlook? Well, I mean, I don't know right now. I'd have to. Yeah, there's a long way till the midterms. If these races go the Democrats' way, they'll probably get like a slight boost in the betting and the odds, but I don't think it's really going to affect it very much. I hope you stream it. Cody, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Kind of disappointed in the deportations. Thought there would be more. Yeah, well, it's a process. I mean, they're going to report a number. They've reported 2 million. I don't know if that's true or not, but they've reported a lot. They've said they deported over 2 million because of self deportations. More GOP states need to redistrict. Midterm primaries start end Q1 2026. Yeah, well, I don't know when the actual it would be the deadline on the actual districts being able to be redrawn. Is it Q1 of 2026? We'll see. I mean, California is going to get this thing passed tonight, so that's going to be at least 4 seats for them. We still don't know what's happening with the VRA, the Voting Rights Act, the Section 2. Hopefully that gets torpedoed, and there could be potential for a lot more pickups that ends up happening. You love when I add the leaves for fall and the snow for winter. Yeah, it is a good touch, isn't it? That's what I was thinking. I added it a little bit late, but you bring it through November, then I'll probably add the snow as well. I mean, it doesn't really affect. I made it a bit better this year because the leaves were too large, so I made the leaves smaller and just duplicated the client. Maine's got a ballot initiative tonight on voter ID. Hopefully, it passes the same way Wisconsin. Yeah, do you know if it'll pass or not? Because I don't, I didn't even know they had one. It isn't looking great for Jones at the moment. A+5 Harris area in Richmond is going slightly to Mayoras at the moment. I wonder if that's going to be reflective. Margin of victory. That's no good. Yeah, Jones is going back down now. Decision desk called Spanberger already. Is that true? Yeah, decision desk is always the first to call. They're very aggressive. They were aggressive in 24 as well. Wouldn't surprise me. Barstool leaving New York City thoughts. I don't. I mean, what are they leaving because of the tax situation with Mamdani? They did with just 2% in. Yeah, they always like to be the first. I mean, I would say that's gonna happen. It's not gonna be within a margin, so you might as well call it. But decision desk did call it 2 minutes ago for Spanberger. Yeah, we'll just have to see what the margin is. Miores is climbing a bit in betting. Yeah, I would say Miores is probably outperforming Earl Sears pretty significantly in a lot of these areas. It's hopefully he ends up winning at least. Hopefully they can salvage the AG after this this little texting scandal. But again, it just comes down to the people that vote down ballot. Yeah, Jones is torpedoing faster than he texts. Now I'm not gonna get cocky over it. Jay Jones is absolutely crashing in betting markets. His phone should have crashed before he sent those texts. Maybe he would win. I'm not gonna get cocky or anything. This is an AG race. Listen, A&M or Mizzou, A&M probably, but close game. Yeah, I could see Mizzou upsetting A&M actually. Did you see the video of Jay Jones trying to kick the dog? He's a weirdo, man. That dude has some issues. It's just he's an awkward person. You just see him 50-50. You know, I did see an exit poll that said like 65% of the people said it was disqualifying, or maybe it was 45, but it was a lot. Like if 45% of the people, the 45% of the electorate says the text messages are disqualifying, there's no way he's going to win because that's 45% that for sure you would figure, or like most of them would vote for Miores. They're gonna call this a blue wave. Well, not if Jones loses. That's a W. It's a Republican coping sesh. Well, I don't know. It says 52-48. Miores. Such a heavy spike late in the game. R.I.P. Jones. Miores overperforming Earl Sears right now by about 4.5. Or no, just 4. About 4 points. Yeah, Earl Sears loses by 9, maybe. I mean, 4% of the votes are in. At least that's what it says. But you think Jones is losing and Republicans will barely win New Jersey? That would be amazing. Darker red counties. Well, he was always gonna outperform Earl Sears. The question is by how much. When do New Jersey polls close? 8 o'clock. So like 30 minutes. Miores now in front. It's 4% in, but Miores up on Jay Jones by around 2 points. Earl Sears down by about 7. He's outperforming her by about 7-ish, 8 points. You think it's disgusting to vote for Jay Jones? A lot of them are just bots that vote down ballot, but some, I mean, but a lot of them do the whataboutism on Trump and say he says stuff. But I mean, evidently it doesn't. I mean, you look at this now. It looks like it's tilting back, and he might lose actually. So Kelsey's a joke. It's like that one. What was the other betting prediction market? I forget what it was. Like a liberal prediction market. The odds were annoying. Predict it. Is the future of finance still XRP? What? You like XRP? I'm not a big fan of XRP myself. Biden won New Jersey by 16% in 2020. Yeah, but I mean Trump only lost it by 6. You know. It's a different variable, you know. The governor's race is a different variable.
At Seam Collar Trucking 90 tips $17.76 through Super Chat. I put 465 on Kumo tonight, pays 3,990 on Kushi.
Yeah, that would be a crazy win if you got that. 465 for like 4,000. That's gonna be tough. It's getting closer now. I mean, we got all these rural Republican counties coming in, I'm sure. Can you make millions off political gambling? I don't think so. You're not making millions unless you already have millions and you can do easy bets. But I don't even think there's enough volume in it to be able to make millions. Truth be told, unless it's like an election situation. Unless it's an election, I don't think there's enough volume to like profit a ton off of that. Jay Jones down by 4.5. Earl Sears only down by 4.5, but I'd imagine these are a lot of Republican counties coming in. You know, they have these massive dumps from the liberal beds, from the liberal inner cities, and you get that, it's going to be a problem. There's only 6% in right now. Earl Sears lost by 5 to 8 points as a win. Yeah, I agree 100%. Because, you know, the aggregate, the composite, the last polls we saw, and their accurate pollsters is about 10.5. So if it's like a 7 point loss, you'll take that. And then you take the AG race with it, hopefully. Miora's 60% chance of winning Decision Desk HQ. Yeah, I mean that's basically what the betting. Well, I think the betting might be a little bit more bullish actually. And it's about six. It's about a 60-40 race right now. Oh wait, they've got Jones back up. There might be like a Democratic county that, or there might be something that happened with one of the counties. If this is true. It's going back and forth. Are you more of a college football guy or do you like the NFL too? I'd say college. Nothing happened for him to spike. Yeah, guys, I like the stream Decision Desk because Miura is at 62% chance to win. Has early votes been counted? Sears outperforming. I mean, I don't know if I'd say she's been outperforming, but she's not gonna win. It just the hope is that maybe it's about a 7 or an 8 point loss. I mean, there's no way it's that different, right? There's no way it's like a 17 point difference. They got to be getting votes from elsewhere. Yeah, 10% versus 7% of the vote, and so more of the vote is in the, at least it's been reported in the governor's race. Yeah, they just reported it now. Jones went back up, probably Richmond. Yeah, I saw Dick Cheney died. The reactions on Twitter or did not surprise me. Jack's going up a tiny bit. Yeah, you're right. He is going up like 2%. He's gone up by about 4% within the last 30 minutes.
At Alexis Gin tip $5 through Super Chat. Thoughts on Reddit liberals saying Batman would fight ICE if he existed?
I think Batman would fight the illegals and deport the illegals to save the city. Like, what is this, man? Batman's gonna fight ICE in the name of Mexican illegal immigrants? Come on. Yeah, New Jersey is not reporting any numbers because the polls haven't closed yet. The polls close 8 Eastern, so I mean, I'll look at New Jersey when it closes, but Democrats have registration early vote advantage in New Jersey, but the race can be competitive. This is like a bot response. Democrats always have the early vote advantage. So. That's the thing. People were obsessed with the early vote in 2024 in the election. It didn't really even do anything in the early vote. I remember Democrats getting so excited about the early vote in 2024. I mean, I guess if it's like really one-sided, then yeah, it matters, but man, what did they just dump everything from friggin' Richmond? Probably Virginia Beach. Jones back up by 10. That's not going to last, but it's just where they're counting or where they're reporting. When does the shutdown end? Probably very soon. I would imagine the shutdown probably ends within the next 4 or 5 days. Jones about to absolutely dump in betting markets again. The Minneapolis election. It looks like Fati's not going to win. We'll see though. I think those polls close at 8 o'clock. There's a lot of mayoral elections. Virginia projected to elect first Muslim woman lieutenant governor. Shutdown ends tomorrow, maybe. Could be. Maine at large. In what, the general? Are we winning? Uh it's looking decent, honestly. It's not Cope. It's looking alright for the attorney general's race, honestly. It's not gonna happen for the but we knew it wasn't gonna happen for the governor. We're gonna sit here and like, oh, but everyone knew it wasn't gonna happen for the governor in Virginia. They say, well, it's it was Republican, so it's changing, but doesn't it's not surprising. You think Decision Desk HQ predictor in the AG race is broken? It says 95% counted, and you think that is underestimating Jones? It has to be broken if it says 95% count, like the vote has been counted, unless this is just way too. But there's no way it would be counted that fast. It probably is broken if it says 95% is counted, but I don't know. Yeah, Jack winning would be the really big one. Odd number year, usually small races, especially in a situation like this. This is probably the most annoying, where it's like slight Democrat lean, so they can brag about it if they win, because it's not like it's deep blue states. But I mean, yes, Virginia was a Republican win in 21. It does say 95% of the votes have been counted. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Decision Desk, they're very they're very aggressive with their numbers and how they call things. I know they have their own little thing that they set up in 2024, because I remember going to it during the stream, but I didn't think it was very good. I thought the Needle was better. I thought the Polymarket live updates normally are better, because they have the direct updates on the county votes. Well, now they've got Jones up to around 65 again, 35. So Jones is now texting a storm, probably in celebration. Let's hopefully it doesn't continue. Jones is gonna take his dog for a walk. Please don't do that. Don't don't do that. Don't bring out the shot collar. 80 to 20? Bullshit. What was it, a massive dump? Yeah, Jones at 78. Jones at 78-22 and then says 80, but I think it's glitched. This is the actual update right here. This will be a live update. 76, 77. Are you the only one bothered that the red line is for the Democrat, the blue line is for the Republican? Yeah, that's how they used to do it, but I agree. I think it's dumb. Decision Desk has Miura's 80% chance to win. Is that glitched? I mean, that seems very unlikely based on the betting. Might as well go put $100 on him if that's true. I mean, I don't know. I think people are telling me it's glitched. Their thing is busted unless they're 200 IQing with uncounted red counties. Yeah, but the problem is that those uncounted red counties would be accounted for in betting, and people would not bet like that if I think it's got to be busted, honestly. If it's that big of a discrepancy, unless they have like a totally different model, but even then it would Spanberger by 50. I mean, it's irrelevant. It's probably a bunch of big counties, but big liberal counties, 22%. So there's a fifth of the vote in. 12-7. He's outpacing him by 5. You're going to have to do better than that. Oh no, that's 15. That's 15-7. So he's outpacing her by 8. You bought $200 worth? Good luck. You're buying low. Buy the dip. Buy the dip, not 80 to 85 15. Buy the dip. Yeah, there's no sense in buying Jones shares now. You're buying them at a massive markup. New Jersey polls haven't even closed. I mean, I don't know what they're saying on X. I mean, people seem very bearish, but that counting has not even started yet. So it'll start in 15 minutes or so. I don't know if they're saying it's bad, but I know the early vote people were saying it was bad. When does New York get called? Well, I mean, I guess when at 9 o'clock, which I mean, they have a very late closing. Polls there at 9 o'clock, I guess, because of how busy New York City is. But It'll get called right when it closes. The question is how much will Mamdani win by, and then they'll do the whole thing with his speech and everything like that. And so, I mean, Jones is at 87%. At a certain point, we're going to have to pull the plug here. I think Jones has earned himself maybe an artillery barrage worth of text messages or something. This is not good. Ocean County is most important in New Jersey. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be close. It'll be turnout. I mean, there's going to be a bunch of people bitching, though, if Jack loses. Is Kelshi legit? Yeah, I mean, it's like Polymarket, basically. They're going to have very similar odds. It's like the exact same thing. Kelshi was legal in the U.S. before Polymarket. That's the only, but Polymarket was like before Kelshi as like a political betting conglomerate. Will you bet once Polymarket comes to the US? No, I really have no interest in doing it. It doesn't really make sense for me. I mean, unless it's like something that I really think is going to happen, but even that, it's like, what's the point? Like, I'd rather invest my money somewhere. Trump is already making excuses. Well, I know they've been talking about in New Jersey some issues with voting machines in Republican stronghold areas. And so are we really going to do that again? Miora's finally falling on decision desk. I don't know if it was glitched. I mean, it's 90-10 is what it is. 91-9. Obviously, he's not performing by the margins he needs to in certain counties. I'm talking about Miora's to be able to win if it's going to 90-10. I mean, it's just the reality. Miora's crashing on decision desk. It was a matter of time. It was a matter of time. It was probably a late update or something, or a misreport. I mean, this thing's had it at like 80-20 for the past 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You saw this coming from the start. Yeah, but it's also down ballot voting. I mean, it depends. We'll see what the margins are. But if it's like a +10 for Spanberger, you're not really going to make that up. And you can say, well, yeah, they don't care. And I think you're 100% you're right. They just don't care about the text messages. They think Republicans are such an existential threat. I mean, this is like the supreme leader of law in the state of Virginia. The dude sends text message about insinuating to kill his political opponent's children. Trump never did anything like that. That's disgusting. That's reprehensible. That you can't be a fucking attorney general and say stuff like that as a grown adult. You're a grown adult. You can't say stuff like that, man. You just can't do it. But I mean, I guess it gets rewarded. It does get rewarded, but 95-5. Yeah, I mean, Virginia recently it's been certainly in terms of the general, it's been a blue state, and it tends to switch like the local races, the state races every other time depending on who wins. So if the Republican wins, the Democrat's going to win the state races, vice versa. So Trump won, so it's not too surprising. But there was obviously an extra curricular with Jones, but evidently it doesn't look like that's mattering too much. Now it's getting to the point to where, I mean, it's about 95-5. Yeah, we're not going to do a blue wave, man. Come on. It's a blue wave in an off year in liberal states. Well, they're going to get I guess free EBT for everyone. Maybe he'll give out like 100 extra free texting minutes or something with for this victory. We want some type of texting thing, I think. But yeah, it's T-Mobile ad. T-Mobile ad. The algorithm knows. Well, they're. I wonder if they're gonna call this. I mean, yeah, they've got Jones 91 right now. Kalshi. Cheryl still 90-10. This race is over. This race is about to be over. Democratic sweep 87%, which I would imagine is probably going to go past 90% once it's like confirmed that Jones. Well, I don't know actually if this even involves the AG race or not, because the poly market sweep didn't even involve the AG race. This Democrat sweeps at 90% right now. Yeah, Democrat sweep in liberal states. Why are people already saying Jack lost? Well, I mean, the numbers don't look great for him. I think there was some not great early voting numbers, and then it's gonna get the Republicans are just gonna be like, well, it's low propensity, it's a problem. I mean, I don't think Cheryl is a good candidate. That's the issue. Cheryl's a bad candidate. You lose to her. Is MGTOW dead? I don't know what that is, man, honestly. So I don't know. Obviously, all these elections would be nice to win, but does the New York mayor race and Minneapolis mayor race even matter that much? Well, it's just kind of funny to watch. I mean, it matters in the sense I think the New York City mayor's race does matter to a degree because it's like a reflection of the country. Not really. I mean, with my immigration into the city, but just in general, it's a major city. You searched me up to watch me on election night. Well, that was we had we had a very nice time last year. That's for sure. It's a little bit of a different story. You deal with an off-year election like this with these liberal states, and then they act like it's this huge victory for these libs. I mean, they're blue states. What do you want me to say? Any word from Ann Selzer on tonight's results? Well, she retired. Remember, she retired right after the election. So, yeah, but she should do another poll just for old time's sake. You got to visit New York before it becomes London. It's already there, I think. I mean, I've heard you look at some of the reports on what's going on there. It's pretty much already there with the demographics, I would say. All right, the New Jersey race is coming up. Actually, let me just take a look at. Oh, it wasn't even updated. God damn it. I thought it was like 66-33 back down.
At Alexis tipped $5 through Super Chat. Gwynedd was 90% white in 1990, now it's 27% white. What the hell happened?
It's just mass immigration and mass foreign immigration and lower white birth rates, basically, and white people leaving the area, probably all of those combinations into one, and so you get something like that. Did you see the ballot machines are down in a bunch of areas? I did. I'm sure Trump is going to jump all over that. Is he talking about it on Truth Social? I would imagine. Does this mean anything for 2026? I don't think it does. I think you look at 2026, it's a year away. Obviously, going into 2026, Republicans are going to be at a disadvantage just based on historical trends. But to say that, to sit there and say that, well, this, these liberal state elections really, I mean, let's see what the margins are. That's what I would say. Let's just see what the margins are. If they're really big blowouts, then you have to look at that and be like, all right, well, this is not a great sign. But if they're relatively close to what I thought the margins were going to be, I mean, it's... What's going on with Trump? Real clear approval. I thought it was going back up. Is it back down? The AG race is going to be very close, but Jones is probably going to take it. Yeah, like a Jones +2. Spanberger +9 probably is what we're looking at, is what I would say. But Trump is sitting -11 real clear right now. You're kidding. That's composite? Ronaldo pro-Trump. I mean, he did an interview with Piers Morgan. I didn't see it personally, but I know he did an interview. He asked him about Trump. Any update on New Jersey race? It's about to be an update in 4 minutes when the polls close. They start reporting. We're going to get some serious movement, I'm sure. But let's just go to this, take a look. It's about 9.5. Spanberger lead. And you've got basically a tie. 31% of the vote and about a third of the vote in New Jersey is right now. New York City is going to be 9, and then they do Prop 50, which is going to pass, but it's a big race, I guess, or it's not a race. They're trying to gerrymander. Well, if Jack wins, I mean it's a huge victory for the night. There's no question. There's no question about it. No matter what happens with the AG race in Virginia, I mean, I've heard some bad early voting numbers in New Jersey, but you don't know. You truly don't know with early voting. Liberals early vote more anyways, but you compare it to 2021, 2024. I think Mayorkas can still win, yes. It looks like it's based on the remaining counties, the outstanding vote, that all gets compiled together, and so when you've got a 93 to 7, it's a challenge. It's not impossible. It's not 99-1, but Jay Jones only won because of TDS. Trump's tanking. Yeah, but I mean, it's also Earl Sears. If she loses by 9 or 10 points, I mean, that's just down ballot. Now you can say, well, she lost because of Trump, but I don't know. People have been saying she didn't run a good campaign. CNN already projecting Spanberger. Decision Desk projected her with 1% of the vote in, which obviously I don't think that's what's going to happen with New Jersey. New Jersey, it's going to take a longer time for them to call whoever wins. According to NBC's live election results, Jones is losing, but it doesn't really matter. Depends on the outstanding counties. That's what this takes into account. You think Mayorkas is underpriced here? What do you think it should be, like 70-30? Fox News, Decision Desk just said Spanberger. They're all going to follow. I mean, the Decision Desk HQ. Once that comes out, they're not gonna be wrong about a report a call. You wouldn't expect. We need to end the filibuster. We have no choice. Yeah, now Trump is calling for it, or at least do something to be able to reopen the government, bring it down to like a 54 vote threshold, whatever it is, 55 vote. Thinking Miura is 40% at least. Many deep red counties have not been counted. And yeah, I mean, but also a lot of those deep red counties, they don't hold many votes. It also depends on the urban areas. I mean, obviously, all of that's factored into betting. That's why I think it's the best thing to look at because the outstanding votes get calculated in a way where people are betting on someone based on the context of that. But I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe it is off. I mean, it's like a niche election. Filibuster going away, dangerous for Dems to get into power, or Trump's right. Well, either way, it's going to be at some point it's going to be eliminated. So you might as well be the ones to eliminate it. That's basically what Trump and a lot of I know Republicans have said for a very long time. All right, so let's see New Jersey. What's this? So they've officially called it that would be New York Times. Spanberger. Obviously, the AG is still it's extremely close right now, but the betting would say it's probably going to be Jones. And then we also have to look at New Jersey. The votes should be coming in there, and we should get some movement. So it'll be New Jersey and also the AG race in Virginia. Dem sweeps at 90%, but we do have another race happening about 90-10 right now. The movement was for a little while positive. Looks like it's take a look at the last hour. It's gone back in the direction of Cheryl over the past 15 minutes or so by about 4 or 5%. Man, it's at 93.7, 94.6.
At the milkshake tip $5 through Super Chat. Virginia was lost when Doge cut the government. Virginia is run by Karens and government workers.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of DC liberals that live in Northern Virginia, and they clog the state with the Democrat votes, and a lot of them commute from Northern Virginia to DC. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that, man. I really wish it was 6 o'clock when it got dark. I think it'd be good if Trump would have changed that. But I understand people don't like. I woke up at like 6 a.m. this morning. It was bright out, so people like it when it's lighter in the morning. Only 33% of the votes are in Virginia. Yeah, that's not how it works. It doesn't matter if 33% are in. They can tell based off of margins on certain counties that they'll be able to call it. I mean, you look at any of the betting, obviously, Earl Sears is not going to win Virginia. The numbers in, I mean, they can call it a race with 1% of the vote in, and sometimes 0% of the vote in. Tell me if that AG race changed. Well, I guess I could go back and forth. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like we got 30 races to watch here or anything. It's like 2 fucking races. Cheryl margin possibly 3 to 6. They're saying. Dem sweep is down to 88% from 90%. Jones is at 90-10, so he's gone down slightly. Are any Republicans winning? Well, maybe there's a mayoral race where they're winning. We don't know. I mean, there's none of the big races. Who realistically do you want to win New York City mayor? To me, it's like, I mean, I guess Cuomo, because I think it's a terrible reflection to have someone like Mamdani from Uganda, or this immigrant. I think it's a bad reflection for the country, for New York City. But it's more of it is like the perfect microcosm of the immigration that New York City has had. So it's almost like the perfect storm to create it. So it's like, what do you really do? I mean, this is what it's created. This is the culmination of all the immigration into the city. It creates a socialist that wasn't even born here, and so now he gets to lead. And this is kind of what you get. What you get when you have an immigration policy like this. This is the result. You think the AG race is cooked? The AG race doesn't look good. I mean, it seemed like maybe there was some slight momentum going against Jones. Is it 97? I think it's done. No, it's got. I mean, if it gets 97-3, I think it's about done. I don't know. People are saying it's going to be close. We'll see. Maybe there's a chance. You think Jay Jones will lose? Virginia Beach City still very close. You checked the counties, and the deep blue counties have basically nothing counted, so that's why Jones is set to win. Richmond is like 10% counted, so it's right. We could do quick math on it. I mean, but the quick math is 97-3. I mean, this is a fucking betting site. You're gonna take Mayorkas to win. You'd make a shit ton if it was actually a good bet. It gets to this threshold to where it's like 97. It's extremely unlikely. So they got there. What is Decision Desk going to go ahead and call this? The AG? We take a look at New Jersey. And we've got 95-5 now in New Jersey. So actually 97-3 or 97-4. See, it's an issue. Have they reported anything? All right, they are reporting stuff. 11 big swath. I don't know, man. If it's 96-4 already, there's only 11% in, so there's more variance. But
At Alexis Jen tip $5 through Super Chat. Mamdani winning is good. It further radicalizes and wakes up more young white men that America is being invaded and conquered due to liberal policies.
Well, no, I certainly hear you, and that's one way to definitely look at it, because especially you look at New York City in general, it's already going to be liberal. If it gets, maybe even more, but that's the argument of like Kamala Harris winning as well. You realize that, but I get it. It's more of a mayoral thing, so maybe it's not as catastrophic as like a liberal president. But that's like the accelerationist talking point. Trump not on the ballot, Republicans always lose. Well, that's kind of what the party has become now, isn't it? And so we're going to have to deal with this going into, and this is going to be something that is going to be a storyline if this ends like this. I mean, I want to see what the margins are, but it's going to be, the midterms are going to be bad for Republicans, even though these are liberal states. We'll have to see what the margins are. Yeah, I know. I saw Bitcoin was under 100K. I don't think that's going to last for very long, but 90. This race is over before it began. No, we're not going to say that. There's 12% counted. 97-3. These are Democrat heavy. Well, these are Democrat heavy states. Not shocking. Heavy. I don't know if I'd go heavy state. They're Democrat leaning states for sure, by like 8-9 point margins at least. Well, New Jersey's kind of, it's a little bit different because it started to turn a little bit. But New Jersey was like a 16-17 point margin in 2020. I mean, they're Democrat states for sure. At least recent history would say. The governor's races can be a little bit different, but it just depends the candidates and the temperament of the country and stuff like that. How well they run their campaigns. Yeah, Mamdani is gonna win. I mean, there's no question about that.
At Alexis Jin tip $5 through Super Chat. New York is already done. You can't reverse the damage there. The federal government isn't. That's the difference. If Kamala won, the US was f***ed.
Yeah. I think you look at New York City and just the demographical shift is insane to where how do you even change something like that? It is impossible. It seemingly is impossible. Who do you get your daily news from? Like, do you listen to certain shows every day or read certain websites? I get most of my news from X. I used to read certain sites. I don't do it anymore. I used to read a lot of articles. I don't know why I stopped doing it, but just from honestly from mainstream news, I'd read some New York Times. They have thorough articles. I mean, they're biased, but you can kind of pick through it if you're new, savvy enough. But it's like I just look at X. I mean, it's very lazy. A lot of it is just I look at like his historical stuff is what I look at now. I don't really. I mean, I do follow the news, but not as much. Is there any protection to the communist policies? Well, communism's illegal to practice, but they just say it's socialism, and they're not going to be able to implement communism. And you can't go really unless it's like some type of full totalitarian takeover. You can't go from capitalism to communism. It's not possible. You have to go to socialism first. But they couldn't even implement communism fully. It'll be like a watered down version of socialism in some aspects of it, but I don't think it'll do well because Mamdani will be fought heavily. So, yeah, it's not happening. Now, you don't want to call it, but it's like, what do you want me to say at this point? This is like there wasn't even a chance with this one. At least with the AG race, there was a chance. It's not over for Republicans. It's good that they are showing up in huge numbers in blue states. Well, I mean, if that's true, then obviously Democrats are also showing up. I mean, I did hear the turnout was very good. Is that what you're referencing? You expected New Jersey to be close? Well, it might still be within like 4 points, but in terms of this, the betting obviously is reflecting an obvious Cheryl victory. I mean, I can't deny that. Probably outperforming margins in a lot of the heavy hot blue urban areas, if that's what's the vote that's coming in. Jones is up by about 1.2. How do you differentiate the X slap with real news? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Most of it's like Trump will say it, or I mean, a lot of it is slap, but it's just you if you find verifiable reporters, I mean, that's kind of how you do it. But yeah, I heard a lot of companies are gonna be leaving. We'll see if it ends up happening in New York City. I mean, you need it for commerce, but I can understand the tax issues with New York City with Mamdani, and I'm sure there's a lot of very attractive places. Florida being one of the most. Youngkin 56% approval per exit poll, very strong. What a shame, truly a shame with that. Virginia election rules on that not being able to run again. Good luck to New York and Seattle. Sad. Seattle's having like a mayoral race, I think, but yeah, in New York, it's gonna be Mamdani for sure, and even New Jersey, it's like there wasn't even, we're at a 99 already. How did we get to a 99 this quickly? This is disturbing. We'll have to see the margin though. Seattle is already communist. Well, Seattle and Portland are cooked. The Pacific Northwest in general, especially on the western side of those states, are really, really bad. Trump 2.0 is kind of a flap, and it's already showing we can't even die anymore. I mean, let's see what the margin is here. And you can't allow the liberal propaganda, man. These states are liberal. You know, these are liberal states. Oh, there it is, 99-1. Well, with 16% of the vote in? Maybe 20%? Yeah, I'll give that one dude I saw, the one dude predictions, who's more of a Republican, he predicted a Democratic sweep. You give credit. Decision Desk HQ just called New Jersey. That doesn't surprise me if that's true. They're very aggressive.
At Alexis Jin tip $5 through Super Chat. Seattle police offering nearly $200K starting pay. Is it worth it, lol? That's insane money even if the area is expensive. Why are they paying so well?
Probably they're not able to hire enough. Nobody wants to work there. It's supply and demand. They have to up the price so people will work there. That's disturbing if they're offering $200K. I wonder what the cost of living has to be crazy, but yeah, $200K starting pay is insane. Maybe for like a lieutenant or so, like a deputy or something, but I mean, okay, now we're gonna have to see the margin on this. What if the margin's like 7 or 8? That's a big issue if that's the margin, but it becomes more of a margin thing. Okay, she's gonna win. It's been called. $6 to 9%, 9 to 12%. There's a 65% chance it's between 6 and 12%. We were thinking, it'd be within 3 or within 6 at least. Remember Decision Desk in 2024? The liberals were streaming the election, were coping with every single call. Yeah, well, they're very aggressive, and I respect them. I mean, if it's cold, it's cold. I mean, if they have the numbers. Watch when these folks complain but still vote Dem. Yeah, well, it's a likely story. Only 18% of New Jersey votes are in. But I mean, you've got verifiable data, you've got betting numbers. I mean, this is what it is. We can figure out who's going to win relatively quickly just by looking at this stuff. And the thing is, now it looks like it's going to be by a pretty significant percent, too. I mean, maybe this will trend back. I don't know. I mean, if this is like a 9%, that's a crazy margin from what I thought it was going to be. I mean, yeah, you could say Cheryl was the favorite for sure, like 88 to 12, 88% to 12 or whatever, 85-15. But we were thinking, I mean, look at the Atlas Intel final poll. What do you make of that? 0.9? The shutdown won Democrats this election cycle. Well, I mean, we'll have to see the margins. It seems like they got a big boost from something. Maybe it was that. But we have to see. Because think about, they dragged Jay Jones over. And now Cheryl is possibly going to win by 6 to 9 points. Let's see, maybe do we have other margins? Jones is up to still 98 too. Just depends on the margin. Sliwa is a clown. Glad he's a 2-time loser. Well, I mean, you're not going to win. You're not going to win as a Republican in New York City unless it's, I don't even think, unless you're like a fake Republican. That's the only way you win as a Republican in New York City, honestly. I can't see another way. Unless the Democratic candidate is just so bad. I'm looking at the margins, honestly. The margin of victory in this attorney general race, the margin of victory in the, I guess, the governor's race in Virginia, the margin of victory in the New Jersey race. $12 to 15. Yeah, that'll do it. There's zero chance Jones can lose just down ballot if it's 12 to 15 or 18 to 15 to 18% victory, 31% chance. So maybe it's a Spanberger like 14% victory. That's the. I mean, because what even was the favorite? 9-12 to 6-9. I mean, these Dems are outperforming whatever their margins were supposed to be. As someone who lives in Nova, it's the Pacific Northwest. Can we stop coping? The GOP lost this election because no one cared. It's been the same playbook for decades. GOP votes for presidents, not down ballots. We should reflect. Yeah, well, the other thing is now it's magnified because of Trump, and so many people just vote when Trump is on the ballot. And I mean, no, it is a problem. But this is the same thing people were talking about with the Wisconsin Supreme Court race. I mean, it's the same talking point. And I understand what you're saying. I really do. I mean, the margins look to be completely out of control. I can't really deny that. It's a severe underperformance with these margins. I mean, you lose, okay, that's understandable, but what happened with Minnesota mayoral race? Yeah, I was looking at that. I don't think there's really. It's still 80-20. I don't think there's been much reported. White men are failing to vote this election. Shame. Well, I don't know. Do you have the exact tabs on that? I don't know if they released those yet. What is that? An exit poll? You want my take on Vance? You're in every stream. You're in every stream. Now you want me to take on my take on Vance? I mean, we can do it another night. Yeah, it would take a minute. It's not gonna happen. There's not.
At Larryton 4,373 tip $10 through Super Chat. If Dems outperform their margins, it's a small red flag. Maybe Trump should not have spent the majority of his first year on foreign affairs.
Yeah, well, that's like I've been seeing that. That's like this. There's a lot of propaganda about Trump and the geopolitical stuff, and I think it's more so. I'll give you Venezuela if you want to say maybe stay away from that because he did pick a fight with Venezuela. But it's been more of a he's trying to end the situations. I feel like I guess the Iran you can say, but Iran was 2 days. It was 2 days. So I mean, I understand that's a narrative going around right now within Republican circles that Trump is, it's too much foreign involvement in the entanglement. I mean, there's really nothing. I mean, these races are over. What do you want me to say? The races are over at 8:30. I mean, obviously Mamdani is winning. It just depends at this point. I'm surprised it's only at 95%. Oh, 98%. Yeah, these races are over. What like we can say it. We can try and wait for the final numbers, and it's only 26% in there. But this 53% in, 11 point. She's probably gonna run up crazy numbers. GOPL tonight, no sugarcoating it, all blowouts. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you look at the margins. The margins are real bad, and Jones may even win by 4 or 5 points. I mean, if that's true about if the margin is on Spanberger is 14 or 15 from what I saw, just an average on betting, like 14 or 15 point margin. Jones will be at least plus 3 or 4, I think, unless they really split ballot. Cheryl maybe double digit. Think about that. Elon dumped millions week before Wisconsin election. Now Trump, Elon, GOP influence desperately trying to pump up Cuomo the day before the election. Nonstop slap since November 24. Well, I mean that's kind of the New York City thing is a lose lose. Whatever they do, they're gonna endorse Cuomo. I mean, they just don't want Mamdani winning, but Jones is barely hanging on to a 1 point lead. I think the margins are going to expand, obviously. I mean, if you look at the projected margin, you look at Jones at this point. It's over. Just the margin is what we're looking at. Cheryl, it's maybe a 9 to 10 point, I would say, based off of this. Did you see college football playoff rankings? No, I didn't. I didn't see that. What are they? Those got released. I mean, I know they got released, but get ready for Dems to milk these two wins, these wins for 2 months. Yeah, the issue is the margins. They're gonna take advantage of that because the margins are large. I mean, they are. We can say. For me, it's like whatever. These are liberal states, but these are large margins from what looks like it's gonna be. I mean, they are Democrat overperformances in liberal states. Yeah, the chat's just gonna doom. I mean, it is the Democrat overperformance. There's no denying it. But again, it's just a few elections. It's an off year. Decision Desk HQ calls it for Jones. Yeah, and so we'll see what that ends up being because it's about a point lead right now for Jones. Democrat off year election, right? Sliwa has a bigger ego than Trump. It doesn't have 1/10 of the aura. He's selfish to stay in the race. Trump didn't pressure him hard enough. Well, you in terms of that, you are right. Trump was asked directly. They were Groyper curse on spineless GOP. Yeah, but Fuentes said that Trump would lose in 24. What happened? All the laid off government workers came out in Virginia. Well, I mean, it's obviously they're gonna have to do an autopsy on that, and that's a bad result. It's a bad result everywhere tonight. There's gonna have to be some reflection on this turnout issue. I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of these influencers start turning and saying, "Well, they didn't turn out enough," and that's what it always devolves into. But I mean, these results, from what I see, are very bad. I mean, why would Sliwa drop out of the primary? Cuomo, well, because Sliwa has no chance of winning. Look, the thought was that he would get offered a cushiony job or some type of benefit and drop out because he has no chance of winning. But he has a beef with Cuomo, you know that, so it helps derail. Ohio State is ranked number one. It doesn't surprise me. The analytical numbers support it if that's true. Cuomo was a jackass for running because he lost the Dem primary. Right, but that's just how New York City is. They're not going to elect a Republican. It would be 70-30 or 75-25 with Sliwa against Mamdani straight up. What are the chances Trump 2028 hard to win if no? I don't think they're high, man. It's just like Trump has even said he doesn't want it, and it's an age thing, man. And you could say, well, they could get around it somehow, but it doesn't. It's an age thing. You want to try and tackle that with the constitutional amendments. I don't. What do you think happened? More Republicans not going out to vote or Democrats going out in droves because of TDS? Well, it's probably a combination if it's these margins. These are exaggerated margins. No, if it was based off resume, strength of record, actually Indiana would have been number one, not A&M. Decision desk projects Cheryl by 9.5 points. How about that Atlas Intel poll? You know, Atlas is going to lose a little bit for that. That's a 9 point miss if that's true. Yeah, let me go to the see what I mean. I don't even think it matters, but it's not even this has been called or whatever. I mean, I guess it is just the margin that matters. And Mamdani, the margin with him, they've got it right now, a speculative 3% for Cuomo just because it hasn't closed yet officially. And Jones probably up to 100. Jones has been called. I don't know what's going on with the Minneapolis mayoral election. That's still 80-20. Imagine Fauci wins, dude. That's like a cruel joke. But I don't think that's going to happen. Jones up by 2 now, 58% in. There's an expectation Spanberger is going to win by 14-15. Jones will probably win by 4 or 5, I would say. Cheryl apparently by 9. Mamdani, we'll see if he gets over 50% of the vote. Yeah, I think they have a dark mode. I don't know. Do you think New York City gets even worse now? Or not? I think it'll get slightly worse, but it's already. Look at the population. Look at the demographical change of New York City within the last 30 years. It's insane. Even go back to like just the 90s versus what it is now. You know, a lot of these people, Mamdani's going to win largely because of the immigrants that come to the country and gain citizenship, and then they vote that way. I think Cuomo wins if without the immigrants that got naturalized. It's honestly disgusting if Jones wins. Well, I'll be honest, he's going to win 100% at this point. It's probably going to be about a 4 point margin if I had to guess. Yeah, it was another MAGA no show, but this is a big one. But I mean, we'll see. You know, they're going to try and swing it a certain way, and it's like, I mean, dude, it's off year. I don't know. You know, it's not even a coping session. It's more of just it's off year crap elections. Like, I don't know. What do you want from me? Sneeko celebrating Zoran win, a fellow Muslim, the Muslim Brotherhood. Do you think JD loses 2028? It's too early to do that type of stuff. This is, you know, obviously it's going to be a lot different in 2028 than an off year 2025. before the midterms even happen. The midterms is what people are going to start formulating their opinions based off of these margins off of. That's the annoying thing.
At him not doing ok right now, tip $5 through Super Chat. I could have spent time bolstering Miares and Chattarelli, but they were hell-bent on whining about Fuentes and Gruipas and Real Maga the week before.
Well, I mean, I don't know about...
At my hedge fund 6,411 tip $5 through Super Chat. Thoughts on what happens this week when the SCOTUS strikes down executive branch ability to impose tariffs? POTUS is going to flip TF out.
No. There's actually things, there's executive power that Trump has to get around that if they decide to do that. Trump's going to those hearings, so I don't think that's... No, he's going to get around that, I believe. The tariffs are going to stay on, even if they do vote that he doesn't have the executive authority to keep them on. There's ways around it. You look into it, so... And then this thing talking about the Miares, Cittarelli... Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with Fuentes, I guess, it's just like, I don't know, man. You're on the internet enough. It does get annoying at a certain point, but these are off-year elections. People don't even know these things are going on, let's be honest. Like, most of these people that are online don't even know these things are going on. Go out and vote no to Prop 50 right now. Yeah, you're like, it's like you've got a freaking bucket and you're trying to shovel water out of the ocean with that. I mean, I appreciate the donation, but that's a challenge there to get that Prop 50. That's gonna pass, I think, very easily by like 20%. What's your take on Eric crying? It's a tough night for Republicans. It's a challenge. When you stop and realize the amount of normie middle class people that were happy about Charlie Kirk's death. No, I agree. That's a hidden component with the Charlie Kirk stuff. That's the thing. It's like a lot of normie people were extremely happy about that. It's just something evil about it. Especially you see the video.
Richard Gibbons tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. Even though it is an off-year election, what do you think is driving up the Democrat numbers? Could it be the media's terrible coverage of what Trump is doing with immigration?
Well, Trump 100%.
At Daniel Callahan DD98 tipped $5 through Super Chat. It looks like Vance doesn't have much of a chance. If we overestimated the shift to the right that we thought was going on, the future looks bleak.
All right, let me answer the Richard one first. So you're talking about what drives up the Democratic numbers. You could argue, I mean, with these exaggerated margins, the shutdown has an impact. I mean, this is... And obviously the TDS, the fact that Trump won, normally it's good for the other party. You know, if Republicans win, it's going to be good for the Democrats. That's what happened within Virginia in 2020 versus 2021. It's the same thing with New Jersey 2020 versus 2021, with how competitive Republicans were in both of those states after Biden won in 2020. Now Trump wins. There's all these marches against Trump. There's all this energy for the Democrats, the shutdown. And then you do have the problem with Republican turnout in these off-year elections. It's a big issue for sure. And then this one looks like Vance doesn't have much of a chance if we overestimate the shift to the right. I don't really think you can really say that. That just seems like doomerism. I mean, Vance doesn't really have a chance based off of what exactly? What Trump is just carrying the party? I mean, because of bad off-year elections? I mean... Hello from Moscow, Russia. Wow. Very impressive. It's very late in Moscow. Yeah, we knew you were going to come in. Only path forward is Trump 2028. Vance is not ready.
At his top popular armies for likes 3,340 tip $5 through Super Chat. For the guy asking, it's a 50-50 shot on the UPA tariff case. Even if struck down, they use sections 122 232, 3.
Let me take a look at this. No, this thing is malfunctioning. I'm sorry. Let me read this. See, they use all these sections to reimpose the tariffs. The tariffs are going to get reimposed via these these sections or whatever. So that's good news.
At Mr_Quaster Hopper tipped $5 through Super Chat. It looks grim, but I still have hope for NJ.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Going back to this one, it does worry me how much people completely forgot about politics in off years. These races matter and people take it for granted. Yeah, a lot of people even online don't really know about these races. I mean, hopefully in the States they know. Right, because this is it's happening. These are big elections happening in like 3 total states or whatever, 2 states. So it's you have to quantify it's only happening in a few states. I mean, there are mayoral elections in a lot of these states, but many of them have already been known who's going to win because of how liberal the states are. But when was your last suck? I mean, it's just, is it really appropriate at this point? It's been a long time. It's not an appropriate thing there. The fact that Trump constantly insults and agitates Democrats. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't get the issue. It's like, it's an off year. I guess it's the margins are bad, I'll admit, but it's like, see, it's only a 9 to 12 it ends up only being a 9 to 12 margin. So that's, well, it's only a 9 to 12 margin. No, this is not great. I mean, there's no denying it. You voted yes for Texas on our 17 amendments voted GOP. How is NNN going? It's going fine. Yeah, no, 9 to 12 is bad. You're right. It's just like, it's very bad. I thought it was going to be, they said it was going to be, that's like a 10-point miss. It's like a 10-point miss for Atlas Intel. So Atlas Intel is going to have to be moved down a bit. And Atlas has been putting out really negative polls against Trump. Now those are seen as more positive. I don't know, but dude, it's like, what's with all this talk about?
At Average Jobby tipped $10 through Super Chat. The Republicans are weak.
Yeah, this is a bad performance. It's really a piss poor performance, and it becomes a low propensity problem within the party. I mean, this is the same thing what happened with Wisconsin, the Supreme Court race. It's the same that's been happening in off years. The midterms are going to be different just because they're going to do a convention, they're going to do a lot of stuff, but it's bad performances relative to the expectation, yes. No Trump, no turnout. They had turnout in 22. They had turnout. They won the generic ballot. They just lost really close elections in a lot of the important states. We really shouldn't put much weight into the Lib City elections. Yeah, I mean, it is liberal states. That's true. This Mamdani election is about to be called probably the second the polls close at 9 o'clock, I would say. 11 points, about a little bit over 2.3, 21. The Republicans have a knack of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. We need a new party. Well, I mean, this wasn't even close to victory in any of these races. And the filibuster passed the GOP priorities. Yeah, that's what Trump's talking about doing. I mean, we'll see if they grow a spine and do it. You're talking about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson are two of the biggest losers in all the GOP. All they do is divide the party in views. Yeah, I mean, it's like, dude, it's just this constant drama. I mean, it's just like, we get it. There is a massive Israel party problem within the party with the younger guys. It's just, but do we really want to get into that right now? It's not a good situation for the party. This is not a good situation either. Did the Republicans who didn't vote Jack in the primary sit at home? Like, you'd be curious. I mean, probably. If it's this margin, I mean, this is a crazy margin. If it's a 12-point margin, my goodness. Or I mean, like a 10-point margin.
Adila Potato Estital Potato tip $10 through Super Chat. It's crazy people still vote Democrat when they keeping the country hostage because Republicans are not willing to pay another $1.5 trillion a of taxpayer money.
No, you're right. Republicans want to pass it. It's the continuing resolution. It's the same exact thing they signed in the spring. So they are holding it up. And then they get I guess they get the credit for it, and then you get the results like this. It won't. GOP will delete Dems. Never vote Dem. So we're waiting on, I guess, I mean, also maybe this Minneapolis race. Seattle mayoral race. No names. Zoran Mamdani parlay. California redistricting referendum passes 99% chance. Oh, goody. That's going to be close. Is it still 80-20? Oh, God, not this, dude. The last thing we need is this. It doesn't even matter, though.
Richard Gibbons tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. Really hard to believe in New Jersey after the Trump result that people went back to Democrats. I wonder if the Latino vote came out heavy in favor of Democrats after all the immigration changes.
But, dude, it's like Trump's just not on the ballot. So there's no... And also, it was a very favorable election environment for Republicans in 24 going up against an ultra-weak candidate. And also, Trump won. And so that's going to be a bit of a disadvantage going into 25 because the party that's not in office is going to get a bit of a boost. But there's only so much you can say. I mean, it's still a really bad result. But again, there's a heavy Trump boost if he's not, especially in an off year, if he's not on the ballot. But even in 21, I mean, they're going to compare that for sure. And you're talking about a 2-point Republican loss or a 2.5-point Republican loss in 21 versus I mean, that's like a 12-point swing. That really just destroys a lot of the momentum in New Jersey. I mean, if it's like a 10-point Cheryl win, because you were thinking it could be a competitive loss and there would still be momentum in the state, you know, for 28, just in the general. Is Omar winning? Omar Fati? I don't think he's winning, but yeah, the pre-market dump, dude. That's a heavy dump. Thanks for Mamdani for that, right? Is that why that dumped? Because Mamdani is gonna win. Heavy dump in preparation for the Mamdani victory before the stock market closes. It tanked. Trump has outlived his usefulness to the Republican Party. Well, I mean, Trump is just in general old, but the Republican Party still needs him to campaign in 26 and 28. I mean, they're latched onto him. It's this relationship to where he is the party at this point, so an adjustment would be a challenge, but there's going to have to be an adjustment for whether it's Vance or whoever. But you need Trump to campaign. But I don't know. Will it even matter if he's not the one on the ballot? I mean, that's where people start questioning it. But I don't think we should overreact to 3 or 4 elections or whatever. This is like 2 elections, I guess. Oh man, oy vey. Ah, shalom. Trump 2028. Sorry no Vance. We get it, man. We get it. We really get it. All right. We understand. A new variant, a Jewish variant has I guess entered. That's a troll variant. That's a troll variant of myself. You see the CFP rankings? I saw Ohio State was number one. It makes sense. It makes complete sense, even though people said that they shouldn't be number one. You're noticing from some of the other election results, college educated liberal women are a major problem in the country. Well, yeah, and that's actually something that can be studied, and it's really it is the suicidal empathy and it's the white guilt, but it's a combination. And the bigger issue is
$9.99 through Super Chat. I love you.
Wow. What a comment. The big issue is these women, these liberal women, they all go to therapy. That's actually good. They should go to therapy for the hatred they have of their own race. But they go to therapy and it just reinforces the liberalism. So it's like, well, we're almost there. We're at therapy, but we're not at therapy for the right reason. Authoritarian take over Trump right now. I mean, it's Trump's probably gonna get rid of the filibuster tomorrow. The first thing a woman should have never gotten the right to vote. Well, the liberal women, especially the college educated ones, it's a big problem for the country for sure. I mean, we know they're going to be extremely liberal as it is, but a lot of it is brainwashing or manipulation by professors. It's real evil. But and they say, well, it's because they got educated. Well, I mean, not when you have no political beliefs and then you just told one side. It tends to be a bit ridiculous, and then that's a feminism pipeline.
Adila Potato Estital Potato tip $5 through Super Chat. Democrats thought of voting we barely afford my basic needs, well time to go into more debt, let's do another 1.5 trillion, that should fix it.
Right. Right. Yeah, they're trying to get 2 trillion now more to add to the deficit, so that'll be great. They're saying the premiums aren't going to go up, we just have to add 2 more trillion to the debt. Some of your picks for 2028 Republican, if you wanted to win. Benny Johnson, come on, man. You're already trolling me with Benny Boy, the first one. For the Republican nominee, Benny Boy, it's not going to happen. My goodness. Where was the Republican turnout? Well, that's a common problem in off-year elections. It's a big problem. Trump isn't on the ballot. It's off-year. The 2022 turnout was relatively good, but in an off-year niche elections like this, it's a big issue. I mean, I think it's about to the Mamdani elections. We'll see what the margins are really quickly. 70% in.
Richard Gibbons tip $9.99 through Super Chat. I feel like the way things are going in the country, at some point things are gonna have to come to a civil war or something like that. There's just too big of a divide.
Well, it's hard to predict exactly what that would be. You don't ever predict a civil war, but maybe if you know a historian with context. I mean, but it's hard to really say because it's uncharted territory because of social media being an added component to where it creates more of a divide, even more so, and people constantly argue with each other. They're terminally online. And then at what point does that leak into the real world? I mean, we saw it leak into the real world with the Charlie Kirk assassination, but do more events like that start happening, and then that's where it starts spiraling out of control. That's the real issue. Activate the Insurrection Act and the filibuster. You know, I hear you. I mean, this is a bad result, but they need to do something. Chances job market economy is good by 2028 election. Well, the economy will be good in terms of 401ks, but obviously there's a lot of metrics there. Job market, I don't know. It's hard to say. There's a lot of unemployment right now. Chris Christie has joined the New Jersey race. It is already leading Mikey Sherrill. Amazing. Mikey can win by 15, no question mark. I don't think so. I don't think she'll win by 15. But I don't know. Maybe it's probably going to be 12, 11 maybe. Something like that. I don't think it'll be 15. I mean, I guess there's a chance, but it's an insane margin compared relative to what we thought it was going to be. A2 is finished in Virginia. Dems will pass assault weapon ban. DG, what's your best guess on when the shutdown ends? Thanks for everything. Keep up the content. I think it's going to end relatively soon now that these elections are over. They're going to want to play ball. I mean, it worked for them if that was their strategy, the Democrats, waiting for these elections to end. Rubs hands aggressively. Man. I guess this is what happens. This is kind of what it turns into when you continue to support Trump. Conservatives in both the U.S. and Canada are big talk, no action betas, all keyboard trolls. Yeah, I mean, but you would also characterize, the dude that assassinated Charlie Kirk as a keyboard troll, and they're keyboard trolls until they're not. I mean, you don't know when they're gonna actually do something. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, 99.9% of them aren't gonna do anything, or probably aren't gonna do anything, or be able to mobilize something. But 3 minutes until the polls close.
Richard Gibbons tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. The New Jersey result is probably the craziest. It did seem like things were trending in the right direction, but this is a major setback if things hold.
Oh no, 100%. And I summarized it about 20 minutes ago talking about the margin. The margin was 2 and 21, and I can understand it being bigger in 25 because of the fact that Trump won and liberals be more galvanized. But if the margin's 10 or 12 or whatever we think it's going to be, like double digits, yeah, that's insane. I mean, we were thinking a point two, like a 2 or a 3 point loss, if it went that way. So that's a setback for New Jersey just in terms of it ever having a chance of being a swing in a general. I mean, if it's an 11 or a 12-point win, I mean, you could say it's an aberration just because Republicans didn't show up, but even that is like... It's looking like Fati is going to lose, by the way. It's like 85-15.
Adila Repetato Estital Potato tipped $5 through Super Chat. You know what funny though, all these people saying that they were going in these stores stealing and yet there's more product on the shelves.
Yeah, they were all talk. I think the EBT stuff got extended or something, and I don't know exactly, but, they're all talk. They said they were going to... I'm glad there's not a lot of stealing or anything like that. I didn't want there to be. Democratic sweep. 98% chance. They're just waiting on the Mamdani election. Two-and-a-half-point lead for Jones, 71% in. Sherrill up by around 16 points, 38% in. Spanberger up by 11 points, 73. So it's been a little while. They've got 73% in. They're probably going to get a big swath from a big urban center. That'd be my guess. When do you think they're going to call New York? Right at close. Decision desk will call New York right at close. They'll probably all will. I'm guessing they probably all will call New York City at close. So it is closed. It's at 9 o'clock, so we'll see. Gets kicked out of the 110th country. Yeah, I got kicked out of Ireland. Why do you think I had to immigrate to the United States? You say by 9:05. Well, sometimes they delay them when they close, or they delay the data or whatever. If Dems abandon woke, would you have a problem with them? What do you? I think they're trying to be more woke. Actually, they said woke's coming back, but there's just fundamental differences with the Democratic Party outside of woke. I mean, those just all social issues you're talking about with woke. There's economic differences. There's differences in terms of rights, in terms of immigration. I don't know if you've lumped that in with woke, but I mean, it's thoughts on the Atlas Intel poll. The Atlas Intel poll was really bad. There's no other way to say it. What was even the Atlas Intel poll in Virginia? Wasn't it like 5 or 6? I mean, it was, that poll was off by about 10 points on average. Poll was off by about 10 points. Rasmussen said Cheryl +6. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be about a Cheryl +12. It's not a terrible poll. Is this a sign of things to come? I'm not worried about the Democrat wins. I'm worried about the margins. And that's something that I started to look at as the night progressed. The margins are the big problem. The Democrat wins in these states, based off of the context of Trump winning in 2024, is not too surprising. There's gonna be an autopsy. We'll see if it was Democrats uniting against the Trump stuff and the shutdown, or if it was a turnout problem, or maybe it was both, because these margins are very out of whack. Atlas is Celtics Shaq. Well, Atlas can say, aren't they based out of Brazil or whatever? They say, well, it's an off, it's a one-off, it's a off-year election. They can kind of do that. They've been really good the past 2 election cycles in terms of the midterms in 22 and the polls in 2020 and 2024, the general. So they might just say, well, it was a one-off niche election cycle or something. I mean, the poll they had was bad, but I don't know. Yeah, I thought she was very unremarkable, Cheryl. So it's another thing to where it's like, it's not even like she's this younger, hip Democrat who's got energy, but it didn't really feel like that. So with that margin being what it was. 36% of the votes in, 12-point lead for Mamdani at 51, Sliwa at 8. Sliwa is, I mean, that's a lot of vote that would go to Cuomo, but if Mamdani stays above 50%,
At Jersey Guy 8,527 tip $5 through Super Chat. New Jersey is very disappointing if it's Cheryl +10 or more. Left 4 years ago after voting for Jack in 21. Seems like I made the right call.
Right, and he lost by 2.5. And, New Jersey was a big surprise in 24, but yeah, the margin is insane in 25. I mean, I could understand a Cheryl victory, but Mamdani's up to 99. Which, I mean, he was at 97, so. Conservative news is going to be all over the negative stuff happening in New York over the. I know, yeah. It's going to be a lot of headlines about that. There's going to be a lot of fighting it too. How come Sliwa stayed in? I think he wanted to take Cuomo's chances. I think that they have a rivalry or something. It's scary now in the country. You have these conservative states, but you have these pockets of super liberal areas. Communism on the rise. Definitely variation of communism, like heavy socialism. A lot of these younger kids want because the cost of living is so bad in the country. But a lot of them have turned further right as well. There's a yin and a yang to it, and it does seem like socialism is a lot more acceptable than going further right, which is the window would have to be moved for that to happen. But I mean, all the major cities are going to be liberal. I mean, they're all majority minority. A lot of cities are filled with immigrants. It's going to be liberal. Highly densely populated areas are just very liberal. Seven plus Virginia House seats flipped R to D. Well, yeah, Virginia is an interesting case because so many of those people they're DC transplants. Mandani up to 100. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't called this yet, honestly, but I guess it's anecdotal either way. They're going to call it eventually. Still 36. Really no change. They still haven't called Jones on New York Times. Really no change. Any way to check 2026 odds on Kelshi? I think they're probably going to be pretty pro-Democrat, if I had to guess, because of these results. Yeah, you knew this bump was coming. They had a 13-point bump because of these results. That's what it is. It's about 75-25. That's like an instant thing. I think that'll come back a little bit over the next months. Feminists say they can't walk alone and then vote for the guy who wants to release more criminals on the streets. SSRI liberal mind logic. Then they just blame white men then after that as well. They vote for the criminal, they vote for decriminalization, they vote for if it's minorities, we have to show grace. And then they're assaulted by these people that they blame white guys. Okay. It's the main issue. Amazing how people leave liberal states and continue to vote the same way. Are people just that stupid? That you do see that a lot. You see that a lot out of California. Yeah, that's kind of the reason why Colorado changed. But they're not going to lose their ideology. The cost of living gets worse, and they probably blame it on conservatives somehow and continue to vote liberal. Or the crime goes up. I mean, that's like a pure liberal issue. But a lot of these people were living in bigger cities, and the cost of living just gets insane. So they move to states that are more livable, but they still vote liberal. Decision Desk calls it for Mamdani. I'm surprised it took that long. But yeah, really no surprises with these elections. I mean, I will say the margins are surprising for liberals, but just the overall election results, I don't think it's too surprising. So many counties flipped blue. In which state? Virginia? Can we exist as white people? We can go back to Europe, and well, I mean, it's just not realistic in a single life in a life cycle. There's I don't think that's realistic, man. Honestly, how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna mobilize something like that? It would be better to just go to a really Republican state. You just feel like the American people are not that smart as a whole. They just keep voting against their own self-interest. Mind-boggling. Well, I mean, one of the things is we have to have perspectives, and people are liberals, and so you got to outvote them. And I understand. Listen, the liberals are going to exist. They're a major party in the United States. It is what it is, and you deal with it. And I think it's terrible. The Jay Jones stuff is really bad, but with what happened to Charlie Kirk, and so many of them justified it and they were happy. So does the J? I mean, in perspective, I thought that was a good donation somebody gave me. It's not surprising in perspective if so many normie people were. I mean, they wasn't like they were okay with Charlie Kirk. They were cheering it on. They were cheering it on, that assassination that was on camera, and so the Jay Jones stuff is like a drop in the bucket compared to that.
Lunar Magic Express dipped $9.99 through Super Chat. Virginia WNT full blue wave and said yes to unalive Republicans and their children. Do you think this means the left is confirming they are okay with taking things even more extreme? Just very upset, RA.
Very upset right now. Well, they've already justified it because they say Trump is the one doing it and he's fascist and he's a Nazi, so that justifies us being extremists. They say that Trump has forced us to be extreme, and that's the justification for, like, when you have Charlie Kirk, who's very pro-Trump, him getting shot, they say, well, there's justification because of everything Charlie Kirk has said in relation to Trump getting elected and Trump, being in power. So they use Trump as a vessel to act as extremists and allow the extremism within their own party. And Trump is the vessel and the excuse to foment more extremism. That's really what it is. But I didn't read this one. All Americans need is a politician to preach socialism to them in a confident, calming voice, and they'll vote left every time. Well, I mean, I think that's a bit of an aberration there. You're talking about a very left, liberal immigrant-leading city voting for Mamdani, which, honestly, it'd be very close if it was just Cuomo versus Mamdani. It's called by Decision Desk for Mamdani. The news networks will take a bit more time. No, they always call it first, yeah. Somebody told me a few minutes ago it was called. And, yeah, we'll see with the margin if he gets over 50% or not, which he probably will. I think there's a bet 50% or not. 88%, 86%. How long before New York crashed under Mamdani? It's already crashed. That's part of the reason why he won. But I mean, I guess it depends what you consider crashed. Don't think we can be super negative about tonight. Conservatives are just a major part of the country. We just don't push back hard enough. Well, they have a low propensity problem in off-year elections where Trump really doesn't promote or is on the ballot. It's what their problem is, and it's been their problem. And so I think the midterms are going to be a lot different. People are going to have raw reactions. They're going to look at this. If you've been following these elections, you think there's a chance in New Jersey. I mean, there was, at least tonight, how it played out, zero chance in New Jersey. I mean, it was over the second the polls closed. So obviously that's like a wake-up call. There's some issues there. APAC will cause MAGA to lose midterms. I mean, it's like the hot button issue. I get it, but it's just, there's a fracture within the party for sure, but it's a terminally online thing. And so people say maybe it's a spillover with this. This is like something different. This is an off-year election. If they struggle in the midterms, and okay, then we can talk. But Puerto Rico become a state? We're not going to do that. Puerto Rico's not becoming a state. I'm actually just going to look at it on here because I don't want people are going to... Jack down 16%, 50% of the vote in. You're looking down the barrel about a 12 point, 13 point victory for Cheryl. You know. So it'll come back a bit, but Tennessee's ranked. Iowa's at 20. Wow. Maybe Trump's tariffs aren't as popular as we thought. Well, I don't really know if this is a tariff issue. More so, the government shut down, the low propensity turnout. We'll see if it's like a really high liberal turnout or not. Dude, really? There's a lot of people with the just with the Groiper stuff. It's just constant. Even we're just trying to have these elections. This is going off the rails a bit. This has. We didn't think it was going to be this bad. Can New York City be classified as third world, or did then? No, it's not third world, man. New York City is extremely wealthy city. Obviously, there's a lot of issues with it, but no, 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 no. The sheer volume of skyscrapers, it can't be considered third world. They can't build skyscrapers like that. Alberta's not gonna be a state. It'd be independent, maybe a territory, but your cat is watching the stream. That's very nice. Yeah, maybe the demographics. Lame election, but great stream. I appreciate it. Mikey up 14% with 55% in. Yeah, that's why I'm watching the margin. I mean, the margin's probably going to be 13 to 14, if I had to guess. No shave November. I might decide not to grow out whatever facial hair I have, but I don't know. Do you agree that Mamdani is a communist? Well, Mamdani has admitted he is a communist, but it's more of like communist tendencies. But he has said that he said, yes, I am a communist, but we can't actually install communism. We have to install socialism in the city. It's not possible. New York seems to be taking the exact persona of Gotham, super wealthy in the third world. Yeah, it has always been like that to a degree. But that's kind of why Mom Donnie was elected, but I think it's going to get worse. It's not the policies are not going to help it. Gym every day November, bro. Dude, I'll tell you, it's because I have just problems. Trump is going to lose the midterms. He should have not cucked out on the tariffs and start the recession in May, June. Well, I mean the economy's doing well right now, dude. At least in terms of the markets. I mean, obviously the economy, the levers of the economy take years. Things take years to go down and stuff like that, and for people to, I mean, but gas is really low. Real wages for Americans are up. I don't know, man. Bro, the crypto stress, it's demoralization. No, I mean, crypto, it's fine. I mean, it'll have to go back up. What a tough time for a supposed bullish month. GDP doesn't matter. Well, it's a tracking device. GDP is. It tracks if we're in a recession. But then people just say we're in a recession anyways, based on what exactly? They say it's like a 4-year recession. Maybe this will be a wake-up call for the GOP midterms. Well, I think the midterms are a completely different beast anyways, but I agree. I mean, the margins are making it to where you're looking at like a 13 to 14 point margin. How crazy is that? Because where were we at? Where were we at a few weeks ago? We were at a 3 to 6 point margin. Just a brutal, brutal update. Mamdani has a 50% lead. 50% lead? No, he's got an 8-point lead. Wow, Cuomo is actually being competitive in this. Yeah. Imagine Mamdani only wins by like 5 points. Grocery prices not coming down without it. Well, some grocery items have come down for sure. Yeah, Mamdani may only win like 40. Although I don't know. You don't know what's the outstanding vote. I'd have to look.
At Flash dipped $5 through Super Chat. NYC having a Muslim mayor is insane. They forgot to hashtag never forget.
Right. Trust me, I know.
At the Toaster 5367 tipped $5 through Super Chat. Thoughts on the Fuentes/Growiper stuff? Been hearing a lot about it lately.
Yeah, I know. It's just all online and stuff, I've been hearing about that for a while, not just the past few days. But obviously the party has a Israel problem, so there's a fracture within it, and it'll be solved or whatever. I don't know, man. I mean, the thing is there's just such a low support for Israel, and we'll see how it gets solved. I don't know. What's more disappointing, Jay Jones winning, Jack Citarelli by big loss margin? I think it's New Jersey, honestly, but I mean, obviously Jones winning is bad just with the text messages and stuff. But I don't know, New Jersey that's a crazy margin. What if the New York City mayor's race ends up being the closest one? Didn't see that coming. There's a chance. Well, I mean, technically the AG race will be, but I know what you're saying in terms of the other governor's races versus the New York City mayoral race. I don't know. Let me see if I can get a margin on this. So it's really trading sporadically on if he's going to get 50% right now. Oh, Omar Fati ends up losing. So there it is. Even though Jacob Frey is a complete bitch himself. What a big win. Fox just called New Jersey, no surprise. New Jersey was called on right when the frick of the polls closed. That was I mean, if you look at the betting. That's why, I mean, that's why you can't really look at those things. Can't believe it took them that long to call it. This is such a good night for us. Yeah. On Twitter, people are bitching. Yeah, it's gonna be a cesspool on Twitter. You know, I put out a tweet. I was trying to soften it. I don't even know. I think Elon fucked me honestly, but someone's like, I'm not getting your tweets. I think it's the algorithm. That's the cope now. But I don't think it's gonna be good. But it's like liberal states. I said. I mean, that is true. Yeah, it's been called for Mamdani for it's been called by the decision desk. It's been called by majors. But I mean, I think it's going to be close. It looks like, although it depends on outstanding, and it's hard to say exactly because these areas could be liberal, but they might vote more establishment, so they might vote for Cuomo. You know, the outstanding vote. It's kind of challenging to project exactly. You got the tweet on Mamdani. Yeah, they pushed that one. They were pushing it, I guess. I don't know why, but
Richard Gibbons tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. I was watching Hannity and he seems to think that it was due to the amount of people that I've left New Jersey in the last year. A lot of Republicans moved out of state, he thinks.
yeah, but that wouldn't create this margin. That wouldn't create this margin. A 12-point margin, a swing of 10 points from 21. I mean, I guess with Trump being in now, liberals are going to be more galvanized, but that's a hell of a migration if that's what they're blaming it on. Omar Fati has lost. Amazing update. It was the unpopular. It was unpopularity of Trump and the government shutdown. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be exit polls that show like the turnout and stuff, and that's one of the big things that Republicans struggle in. But Pittsburgh got ranked. Yeah, I think Pittsburgh actually deserved to be ranked. You think Bitcoin will pump now that elections are over? Let's hope. So, but I think it's still got another push in it. Hope it needs to. It needs to go to like 150. Who gives a shit what Dave Portnoy does? Yeah, people are talking about him leaving because Mom Donnie, I guess. But I don't know. They have offices in New York. That's why. They're gonna have a crazy tax situation, I'm sure. I don't know what he'll be able to get past, like the tax legislation. Bitcoin hit a double bottom at 98K. That's a quick double bottom. Check Mamdani margin. I didn't even see it. Is it on here? 50%. Oh, here it is. Wow. It looks like it is going to be potentially under 10% at least. I mean, not that it doesn't even matter, but there is movement in terms of it looks like Cuomo maybe slightly outperformed. Cuomo has mob connections. They are stuffing the boxes as we speak. Cope. It'll maybe be within 10. I mean, I don't know what that really does. People get more angry at Sliwa. That's what that creates, probably. Is Cuomo a good candidate? No, not at all. He lost. He lost the primary. He lost the primary and then ran as an independent. But then you still had the Republican running.
Desert tipped $7.99 through Super Chat. Bad night, but it's whatever.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, we can say, well, the margins are really bad, and I mean, these are liberal states. It's an off year that they do have a. But again, in 22, the Republicans turned out well. It was just the unfortunate of Roe v. Wade and losing states very closely. The generic ballot was decent. This is like off year, and they're going to make a huge deal about this. I think because they were always going to make a big deal about this if they won, the liberals, but even more so the margins. But again, it's such specific selective states that are generally liberal anyways, so. Sliwa, well, I don't know if he did lose it for Cuomo. I mean, depends what his Mamdani finishes with. It seems to be trending that he might win by 8 or 9, but I don't know. Why are your kids saying 6'7"? It's just stupid meme. I'm too much of a boomer for it, honestly. I'm happy to be a boomer for it. How can a state flip this fucking much in a year? Jack is losing by 50. Well, you're talking about it, Trump being on the ballot. To be, you can understand it. It's going to be because think about New Jersey in 2020. In 2020, Biden won it by 16. Jack lost it by 2 in 21. So a year, 14-point swing. You're talking about a general election versus a governor's race. There's a difference. But I agree. I think it is tough. But you're going to see those type of differences in terms of margin. They're different races in general. It's a lot more localized when you're talking about just specifically a governor's race in a state versus just a general election. Yeah, it turns out Mamdani is really struggling, and they'll probably cope and say he won, but yeah, not by a good margin. It doesn't look like. I mean, not that it matters, but maybe a 9-point margin right now. 69% of the votes in. 64% of the votes in. But not 67. So people are going to get angry about that. The Prop 50 will pass. Is there really a point to even looking at that? NBC called it for Mamdani. Yeah, I mean, obviously he's gonna win. It's the question of the margin. The Soviet one, the Comrade one. Six two is the perfect height in your opinion. Trump and Newsom are both 6'2". I've said 6'2" is a really good height. I said if people ask me what I want to be, I say 6'2". What height you want to be? Blue states voted blue. I mean that is basically what happened. I mean, let's be honest. But obviously the margins are going to be talked about. It's like two states here. Let's be real. Wow, 2 states, 2 whole states. That's impressive. We need a miracle. There's no miracle. They've already called all the the elections, bro. They've called all of them. We were trying to get like a close margin of victory for Mamdani or 2 non-bellwether states at that. Yep.
Desert tipped $7.99 through Super Chat. TBH Trump didn't really help at all. Few months it's been America last for few months instead America first.
No, Trump's been helping the economy. Trump's been helping. There was this exhibition in Venezuela. There's a few other meddlings, but there has to be geopolitical presences, and there is. Do you blame Sliwa? If Mamdani wins like 48 to 44, yeah, Sliwa would have to be blamed. If Mamdani wins like 49-41 to 6, I think Mamdani would have won anyways because of the carryover. Not all the Sliwa voters would have went to Cuomo. It depends by the margin he wins by, I think. But also you could maybe not even quantify it. You can say, well, if Sliwa dropped out, then that would give Cuomo more momentum and he might win. But I don't know, Mamdani, if he wins by 9 or 10 points, how do you really blame Sliwa? Is it too late for Sliwa and Cuomo to have a coalition now? Like in the Canadian elections? Check crypto. It's a tough time for crypto. It's a tough situation for everyone. Yeah, I just tried defending Trump there. It didn't go well. I was like, I'm gonna just defend Trump and see what these people say, and they just call me a shill. Okay. No, I agree. I said I like Bitcoin. I hope you do well. But you invest in silver, Bitcoin. It's I say it's a good time to buy. So it's a challenging election, but it's an off year. It's nobody knows about these elections, anyways. Let's be honest. You don't invest in silver. Sorry, I meant platinum. You're waiting for the $1 million super chat from APAC. There's a limit to super chats. Maybe APAC could up the limit for me. That'd be nice. Jay Jones is losing. Where'd you see that? Jay Jones already won. Yeah, Jay Jones now up by about 4. That's what happens. Now it gets up to 83. He gets carried across with about a 13 to 14 point victory for Spanberger. Now Mondani might win by 10%. It's a commie comeback. God damn it.
At Spikefolk tip $5 through Super Chat. Will NYC election results be final nail in the coffin for WCT to rebuild?
Yeah, well, I heard they were going to turn it into like a Marxist Karl Marx statue, Lenin statue, because they built the base of it, but now they're like, well, we want the communist statue. And they built the base of World Trade Center too, and they're turning it into a Lenin fucking statue. God damn it. They want to build the Palace of the Soviets, but they're going to use that footprint. But it doesn't. People think you're saying I'm coping. Wow, you won in New York City. That's shocking. I thought the Republican was going to win in New York City. That's a shock. The Republican was going to win. We need to talk about reality. Non-whites want socialism and communism. Well, even the younger generation, some of the white people do as well. It's appealing to average people and people that don't. They like groupthink and they like. It's like when you're a young kid and you know you need your mother for everything. They want the government to be their mom, and so it appeals to them. It's like a it's a neutered level of a human, so they like the socialism and stuff. But it's not practical. But listen, they can try it. I don't know how much they're actually going to get it. I mean, I think it's going to get held up a lot of the socialist policies because it's New York City, and it's going to be hard to pass a lot of that stuff. I think honestly. The AG race just confirms how Democrats feel about Republicans. They probably agree with this text. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's the problem is it's like Trump has been really professional and he's never said stuff like that, and to see that it's really bad. Trump said some things off the cuff, but he's not going to talk about kids like that. I think it's really bad. But listen, it's like a niche race and it's a down ballot thing. They just vote down ballot. Benny Johnson meltdown clips. There's no reason to melt down. Did he have a meltdown over this election? Miami mayor flips Republican to Dem. How long was Miami going to stay Republican for? Well, I mean, this is people are doing, but Republicans will still have a massive surge in the House odds if the VRA is overturned by Supreme Court. Yeah, I know. I heard there's a chance that they weaken it and maybe not completely overturn it, but either way, it should be a positive development, I would say. Miami going to a runoff. Oh God, not the comeback, not the Somalian comeback. Albuquerque election. Higgins versus Gonzalez. ICE raids don't do shit anymore. What do you mean? What do you mean they're not successful? I don't know. I think they're successful. Yeah, these people are not going to be happy. I'll tell you that. They're not going to be tweeting very much, I would imagine. Yep. Going into the midterms, what would you advise Trump, the White House, and influencers do to increase their chances? I mean, I do think Trump has to focus domestically more. There has to be a focus. There's also this other online thing happening within the party that probably has to be dealt with. Dude, like, come on with this. Oh, man. Oh, this dude. I try and warn people. Are ICE raids polarizing normies to vote Dem? No, the ICE raids are they're totally practical and they have to be done for the country. The people make too much of the ICE raids. The ICE raids are not why they lose. The ICE raids they have to happen because of the amount. We have the highest illegal population of any country on Earth, so we need the ICE raids. Even though it isn't off your election, what do you think? Even though it isn't off your election, what do you think is the biggest thing to take out of tonight? What is the lesson to be learned? Well, the lesson to be learned is there's no real lesson. They have a very big low propensity problem when it comes to these off year elections. Whether it's their ground game, they'll say the ground game is bad. They'll say registering people is bad. They kept talking about how they had a lot of people registered in New Jersey. They'll say, well, the government shut down, energized the Democrats to go to the polls. They'll say the terrorists are to blame. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a low propensity problem, but it's also you're up against it. Trump just won. Normally, the opposition does well, especially against someone like Trump, where they can galvanize against him. It's an uphill battle. But I mean, the margins were exaggerated. Yes, we need a Muslim ginger now. Wouldn't that be? It's the next one that gets created. Ban that account. Ban it.
Matthew Foxtrot tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. The GOP and Trump need to get more people to care about off-season elections. Virginia just proves the Trump effect doesn't work on other Republican candidates. If trends hold, 2026 will be bad.
No, I agree. I agree with you 100%. I mean, 22 was decent. You could say it's an underperformance by Republicans, but I think 26 will certainly be better. It has to be better. The low propensity is not going to be nearly as prevalent. How will you cope for your video tomorrow? LLJK. Yeah, well, you can definitely slant it in a way that'll kind of make it positive, but blue states vote. That's the video. That's the video title. Blue states vote blue. More at 11. Right. Well, you say you talking about the prop, the California prop. There's no point. That's gonna close at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. It's gonna pass, so they're gonna get the full sweep on that. This election does not inspire you at all as far your processing MAGA hasn't lost power. Yeah, but yeah, we allow the liberals to think that they just got this huge victory, you know. But no, you're shrewd for that.
Desert tipped $7 and 99 cents through Super Chat. Midterms is make or break. Even this is an offshoot we can't lose.
Yeah, no, I mean the midterms are extremely important in terms of passing your legislation. You're gonna have to deal with the articles of impeachment. We know there's gonna try and impeach him for all that crypto shit. It's gonna be hard to untangle that. They're not gonna be able to do it as long as they keep the Senate, the Republicans. But you're switching sides. You can't be associated with losers. Well, the Democrats, they lost a lot in 2024. Should I just say, I'm just going to tweet something? Wow, liberals won a liberal state. That's crazy. Wow. An earth-shattering liberals win a liberal state. Now, I mean, it's the margins are concerning, but why the hell did 5,000 plus idiots vote for Adams? That's the problem with him being on the ballot at all. That was a brutal ballot for Cuomo, man. They had Mondani listed twice, Cuomo at the bottom. I get he's an independent, so they listed him down there, but Adams still on the ballot. That New York City mayoral ballot. But does Trump deserve to be impeached for the crypto shit? What if Hunter Biden did it? But Hunter Biden, it's Hunter. I wouldn't even if I'm a liberal, I wouldn't use the whataboutism on Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden wasn't the president. But no, I don't think Trump deserves to be impeached for it. I think there's his sons did it. Blame his sons. His sons are involved with it, and
Richard Givens tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. It does seem that most people's big issue was the economy. I think there's this lag period now between what Trump is doing and actual results. It does seem to be hurting.
no, there's always going to be a lag in economics when you put in a policy. It's going to take time for it to have an effect. Sometimes it takes years. But this APAC tracker, they call out people for getting money from Israel. They've proudly endorsed Omar Fateh, 100% APAC free. Oh man, they're just gonna endorse all the Muslim candidates. Did they endorse Mamdani? How long before APAC buys Mamdani? That'll be the all-time move, the all-time investment. You generally think it was a perfect storm for Mamdani if a Republican candidate was someone else, didn't have beef with Cuomo, they would have dropped out and even endorsed him. Yeah, and also it was very good from Mamdani that Trump won for sure in 24. That's just how politics work. For him to be able to kind of have the situation with a galvanized, like younger, further left base that is coming off a demoralized 24 election. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much else to talk about, honestly. I mean, I guess the only thing you could say is just the total, the margins here. If we get to 87%, it's still 13. It's up to 5. Jones is going to win by 5 points. So, underperformed by about 8, but yeah, that's kind of what we thought. Cheryl possibly going to win by 13, around 13 or 14. I think that's Mamdani. Is he going to get to 50? Possibly. up by about 9. 85% of the vote in there. So yeah, that's basically it. Democrat sweep, yeah. Dick Cheney is rolling around in his grave. Status on Prop 50, it's 100%. I could pretty much guarantee it's gonna pass with probably 15%, by 15% of the vote saying yes. The blue wave is specifically because Trump is a dickhead, your honest opinion. Well, I mean, 100% Trump trolls, and it's going to galvanize people to vote against him, especially after he just won. And it's also a more democratic state, and Republicans also already have a low propensity problem without Trump on the ballot. And it's also not even the midterms. You live in Virginia, should you be worried? I mean, obviously it's going to be very left wing there now with Youngkin gone and the Attorney General Jay Jones. I mean, it's liberal politics, liberal policies. If that worries you, I mean, it depends what your life situation is. I don't really move because of politics, but listen, I live in Ohio. Ohio's been very nice in terms of it's shifted to the right, so that's nice. But I don't think I would move just because of the political results, unless I'm in a bad spot. You got family in Brooklyn because of their job. You never have been one to tell them to move, but after the communist becomes mayor, Heidi came in. I mean, it depends on their job situation. If they can afford to move, then, and if they want to, it's. Did Omar Fateh just win? Oh, please no.
Desert tipped $7.99 through Super Chat. Mom Donnie is going to break under pressure from Trump. It's like dealing with lion and a gazelle.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing is they're going to see that as, and they're going to uplift Mamdani, the liberals are, because he's going against the big bad Trump. What up? Went to vote on no on Prop 50. Yeah, it's going to be tough. We'll see if that ends up. I think it's going to be passed, unfortunately, pretty easily. There's like a 99% chance. Wow, this vote took forever to count. the Somalian flag. It's like a Muslim flag. It's like a caricature Muslim flag. Somalian flag. Arabic. ESPN is upset that Bama is not number one. Really? With one loss? I think that's a joke, right? Bull market 27-28. Come on, man. That's tough. That's brutal if that happens. That is brutal. That's the Minneapolis city flag. It's like a Muslim battle cry. Muslim war flag. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this live stream. So we had the elections here. I mean, it's bad results. I think it's there's overreactions from people. It's very few states. These are liberal states. In the margins were heavy, but it's what happens sometimes. So we'll see. There'll be some digestion of this results, and people are gonna say, well, there's issues with Trump and whatever, and maybe I'll do a video tomorrow on it, but throwing in the towel. Well, I mean, the elections are over, are they not? Please stay on for Prop 50. Dude, it's going to pass. I'm telling you. And that's 11. If it was 10 o'clock, I'd be fine with waiting for a few more minutes, but Who won? The Liberals won. Need to get Bull Run before Dems ban crypto. I wonder what they would have restricted again. Be a problem. All right, guys. I'll see ya.